Have you ever boarded a commercial taxi or bus and halfway to your destination you just realize that you have entered a wrong vehicle?
That is what we call one chance in Nigeria. And if you know you take regular commercial buses, taxis to work or anywhere, like myself, please, this video is for you and please keep watching. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nengi Edmond. If you're a new subscriber, you're very welcome to my channel, and if you're an old subscriber, thank you for coming back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my story of how I entered one chance vehicle in Port-Harcourt. When I hear people talk about entering one chance vehicle, how they were robbed, how they were kidnapped, I used to wonder how they managed the situation until I had that experience myself. It's a lot of fear, a lot of things going through your mind, a lot of adrenaline. See, it is not a place to be. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing some tips with you. Please keep watching this video. I introduced myself in my last video, and some of the things I mentioned were some things that I do. I mentioned that I am a physiotherapist and I am working in a facility in Rivers State. I go to work every day as expected. So some days we close early and some days we close late. So I like to leave early, but there is now an extra reason to leave early because of my safety. That fateful day, I think that was on a Wednesday, and if you live in Port-Harcourt, you know that there's this market called Oil Mill Market on Wednesdays, and this market can cause hold up like mad. So that day was a Wednesday, but I finished about 3-4, and I had some other things to document. I really blame myself because I left quite late, let's say past 4. And after that, I was supposed to see a private patient of mine. I was supposed to assess her. I wanted to start treating her at home, so I was supposed to go assess her that day. I packed my stuff, I left. Normally it would take me, without traffic, it would take me like 30 minutes to get to her house, but because of that oil mill market, it took me about 1 hour 40 minutes to get to her house. There was hold up at every point, and I was supposed to like take 2 to 3 vehicles. I took like 4. I was just breaking my journey. I wanted to get there in time, and I wanted to leave in time because I wanted to sleep. I wanted to go home and sleep. I'd had a stressful day. On my way there, I was really worried. I was telling myself, should I cancel this journey or not? But one mind just said, just go. I followed my mind and I went to her house. I finished what I was doing, and on my way coming, I wanted to book boats, but I checked the price and it was almost triple the price. Somewhere you would normally pay 224, I was seeing 49 thereabouts. I was angry. So I left my patient's house and I got to Air Force along Aba Road. My patient's house is in Eliozu, Ruboko area. So I got to Aba Road. I never knew how dangerous. I used to hear that Aba Road is dangerous, that express road is dangerous, but I never knew how bad it could be until that fateful day. When I got there, I was just so tired. I was dozing at some point in the cab that brought me from the Eliozu to that Air Force. So getting to Air Force, I wanted to get to LLM1 Junction along Aba Road. If you live in Portharcourt, you'll be familiar with these areas. It's a distance of 150, but then 200 because of the hike in fuel prices. Any vehicle that comes, because of the traffic, everybody was rushed, and I hate that thing. I hate dragging for commercial buses or cabs. It's usually very stressful, and you can get robbed in the process while trying to force yourself into a vehicle. Somebody can be picking your pocket and just dragging it. You can just get injured and you don't still get into the vehicle. I don't like it. So I was just standing there. Anyone that comes, they will be dragging. I was just looking at them until one came. He had an elderly man at the back and one other younger man. The elderly man would be about 55 or 50 thereabouts, but I'm sure he's above 50. Then the ones in the front, the driver will be about 30, in his 30s, and the one in the front seat too, about that age. So I just jumped in. I didn't even think, I didn't even look. I entered the car and we moved. There were lots of passengers with me, but then once I entered, we just zoomed off. I was relaxed, I was just doing my thing. There is something I'm careful not to do when I enter commercial taxis or buses. I am careful not to bring out my phone to reply any message. I am careful to always silence my phone whenever I'm leaving a particular place and I know I'm going to take a comment. I'm always putting my phone on silent and I'm not bringing that phone out. And that is what saved me on that particular day. I was just going innocently on the road until we've not even moved for up to 10 minutes, and then the guy in the front, he came down, he paid, and then he left. And the driver was just looking at the money. He now said, oh, call the guy. We're like, what is it? He was screaming. He said, call the guy. He just gave me $100 instead of 200 naira. Look at me, innocent child. I was calling the man. He just paid him dollars. We are now thinking that the man at the back said, oh, maybe it's one of all these Cameroonians or one of all these people that live abroad that just came back that have not changed their money. So I was really feeling for the guy, and I was happy that the driver was that honest to call the guy back. So I was helping them to call the guy back. As he came back, he was now speaking all those Indian, Cameroonian, I don't even know what it is, all those accents that you know that it's not a Nigerian accent. So he now said, okay, that he's actually stranded, that right now he's very confused. When he came back home, he was not telling us in the car. We parked, we was asking, how far, why did you pay, like, are you new in Nigeria, are you a stranger, do you have where to stay and all that? Being a patriotic Nigerian that I am, the man said that there was one lady that bought goods from him at one seaport. The lady told him to meet her up somewhere, and he went there. He didn't see the lady. So we're, really concerned that why would she dupe, how much did she even dupe you of? Because he said he brought gold, different kind of accessories, clothes, shoes, expensive handbags for the lady, and she collected it and she didn't pay, and she said he should look for her at so place. I have forgotten what he said, honestly. The driver was like, oh my god, they have duped you, need to look for that lady. Do you have a number? I said no, that she gave him an address to, locate her. The driver was now asking me and the elderly man at the back that, see, this man is in serious need, and we need to help him look for this lady that swindled him. We are concerned. The guy was like, please, people should help me in some kind of accent. I'm going to give you people money and all that. In fact, that was the time something just clicked in my head. You have heard this story before. Somebody has told me how they entered one chance vehicle and started suspecting foul play. Exactly that same kind of story. That was when I started suspecting the people in this vehicle. They started asking me, sister, are you a Christian? I said, yes, I'm a Christian. I said, where are you from? I didn't answer them. They asked the man at the back, are you a Christian? He said, yes, he's a Christian. He's from Imo State. The driver said, me, I'm from Imo State. I'm a Christian. I would love to help this man. I love to help people. Now I said, you, where are you from? I said, me, I'm from Imo State as well. I lied at that point. I was from Imo State. I was just still observing them. I didn't want to tell them anything about me. They were not asking me, what's your name? Where are you from? Where are you coming from? Where are you going to? I said, oh God, please, just drop me at my destination. I don't want to be part of this conversation. The guy in front was now saying, please help me and all that. What I wanted to do at that point was to book a boat for him to go to a presidential hotel in Port-Harcourt. There you see all these alhajis that change dollars. But as I wanted to do that, as I wanted to pick my phone to do that, I just had this feeling in me not to bring out my phone. And I did not. I kept on observing them. And while observing them, I was just looking outside, looking for... that was when I knew that adrenaline is real. Oh, my body was shaking because I started coding that this vehicle is a bad vehicle. In my mind, oh God, please, let it not be like I've entered one chance. And I saw them giving themselves some kind of body and using the mirror to communicate kind of language. I was now panicking. I now grabbed my bag. I was opening the door slowly, looking for where to jump out. It was scary. I was scared to my bones. I was even telling myself, what would be the worst? I'll have a fracture. I would injure myself. Okay, I'm willing to take that. What if these people are kidnappers? What if they are killers? What if they are robbers? I didn't even want to know. I didn't just want to experience anything evil. So I told myself, I'm going to jump out of this car. I started praying in my mind. There is nothing I did not tell God. I said, God, please help me out of this situation. I will not wrong you again. I will not do evil. Let me just not die today. It's funny today, but it wasn't even funny. I was praying in my mind. And while I was praying, I was looking for how to jump out of the car. And they noticed it that I started vibrating. Because I told you this thing, when you are scared, you can't really hide that you are scared. I was shivering, I was trembling. The driver was like, what are you doing? Why are you looking outside? I said nothing. He said, do you want to jump out of this car? I said no. He said, so why are you looking outside? I was like, what's your problem if I'm looking outside or not? What are you even asking me? He now said, if you want to jump out of this car, jump out of the car. And that's when I said, hey, I was saying my last prayers in case I find myself in the hospital or anywhere. And that's how he started changing direction, going to another place that there's hold up, so he wants to follow. Hey, I said, stop me here, just stop me here, don't take me again. They were like, why are you shouting? You're not even being reasonable. You want to help somebody. I didn't know that while I was trying to look for how to leave the car, the elderly man that I was even at peace with, I was even thinking that there's an elderly man in this car, so I don't need to fear. He was actually picking my pocket. He was searching my bag. And it is only by God's grace that they didn't pick my phone, because my phone was at the bottom of my bag. I always do that. Before I leave my location, I'm putting my phone on silence, I'm putting it down, I'm putting other things on top. So my purse was on top. So he took my purse with some money, my ATM, and some other things. I came down from the car. And when I came down, they just drove off. Like, they already took me into one road that wasn't even the route I was going. And I started screaming. They now said, come on, get down. And I got down, carried my bag gingerly. I was running. People were looking at me. I didn't even care at that time. I ran to the next bus stop. I was not looking at the flyover because I won't flyover. I was asking myself, where exactly in Portharcourt am I? I know these roads, but I was confused for that moment. And I remember my phone, my purse. I put my hand in my bag. I didn't see my purse again. I said, oh God, my phone. I was crying while I was looking for my phone. I forgot that I put it. I was so confused. I forgot that I put my phone at the bottom. I was crying and I touched my phone. Moment of glory. I saw my phone. I didn't see my purse. I said, to hell with that purse, to hell with everything in it. As far as my phone is here, my two phones, they were at the bottom. I picked my phone. The first person I called was my sister. I was stuttering. She was like, I cannot hear you. What are you saying? I stood at I just entered a one chance vehicle. She shouted, one chance? I said, yes. When I was coming from my patient's house, my sister was so angry because I remember that she has told me that whenever it's late, I should always do both. Whenever I'm going to some certain areas in Port-Harcourt, I should always do both. Like she had told me, we had had that discussion several times, so she was very angry. Why didn't you take both? You saw that it was past 8. Why didn't you take both? You now went to go and take a long cab. In fact, she was even making matters worse. She just said, I told her right now I don't have any money. I'm stranded. I don't know how to do all this. Oga, beg. They travel from Lagos to this, blah blah. I didn't know who to beg on the road. Sister then asked me to book both. I wasn't with cash. I already blocked the ATM account because I suspected that they were going to go start withdrawing money from my account. All the days I didn't withdraw money, they did not take my purse. But the day I withdrew money for the rest of the week, that's when they came to steal my purse. I had to call my friend because at that point I didn't even trust any boat guy. At that time, I wasn't with any cash on me. I called a friend that lived nearby, and all thanks to him, he came ASAP. That was the day I knew what ASAP meant. He came immediately. I called him and he picked me. I was so quiet. I was just thinking, maybe these people were not robbers. maybe they were kidnappers, or maybe they were ritualists. I don't really know, but I was just really grateful that I was safe and I was no longer in that vehicle, and I didn't even get to know what they had in mind. My friend took me home. I got home, I entered. I couldn't even tell my mom what happened because I wasn't even ready for that blaming thing. For her to start telling me it's my fault, you could have done this. They did not follow me to see the 4,000 something that both was showing me when I was at that my patient's house. I know that my safety is really important, but at that time I didn't know that I was going to go through what I went through. So nobody warned me. I went to sleep. I didn't tell anybody about it. I didn't do anything. I woke up by 2 a.m. and I woke up, I said, wait, I entered one chance very today. I just started remembering how they were communicating, how I felt like my life was in danger, how scared I was, how I was even thinking of jumping down the vehicle, and I just prayed. I know that God is saving all of us, but sometimes we can do some things to save ourselves. From that day, whenever I'm entering a bus, a commercial bus or taxi, I'm always scrutinizing that bus very well. And one tip I have learned from other people, after that they started sharing my experience, and they told me not to take vehicles that are going along the way. Always go to places where they normally load those cars, like a park. It's harder to get a bad vehicle at the park than on the roadside. So from that day onwards, I no longer take any along vehicles. I go to the park and I wait for the bus to get filled before we move. So that's one way to avoid entering a bad vehicle. The second one would be to be vigilant. Do not enter a car because you're in a hurry, because you may not get to your destination. Always be careful. The third one would be to normalize taking boat rides. To some extent, it gives you a form of security, and you can also share your rights with your friends and your family, and you feel safer. It's just better and safer to have the details of your driver with your friends and your family, just in case anything happens. Up to this moment, I am very sensitized. Whenever I'm entering a vehicle, I remember my rules: to silence my phone, put it at the bottom of my bag, on no account will I take calls or text anybody, no matter what it is, in a public vehicle, and to always be observant in a vehicle whenever you're going. Don't just slip off. Always be looking around, be checking. Are these people together? Are they communicating? Is there body language? Are they all speaking in one language? Always be checking out for that. I came out safe and sound. Thanks be to God. If you have ever been in a one chance vehicle, please leave a comment for me below and tell me how you managed your situation. And if you also felt like jumping out of the vehicle, please let me know so that I will know that I am okay, I am normal, and we are together. I am not crazy. If you have other tips to avoid a one chance vehicle, or when you realize you are in a one chance vehicle, things to do, please also let me know down below. Please be sure to give me a thumbs up, share this video to your loved ones or your family. Because it has not happened to you or your loved one doesn't mean that it doesn't happen, and doesn't also mean that it may not happen, although I don't pray for that. But then just for them to be aware that this does happen. What are you waiting for? I'm looking at you. Please hit on the subscribe button, and I will see you in my next video.